The real reason behind Pope Francis' recent visit to the island of Lesbos should be obvious. Just look at the pictures. So, why is it still necessary to explain that he went there to provide comfort and consolation, not to provoke and play politics? The Greek island of Lesbos is currently home to thousands of asylum seekers. They come mostly from Africa, Syria, and Afghanistan, and to live in overcrowded and often precarious conditions. In fact, little has changed with regard to the migration issue since the Pope last visited the island in 2016, so it still symbolizes much of what Europe's refugee crisis looks like. Despite the Pope's best intentions, his latest visit there irritated some, angered others, and created a flurry of critical comments that claim the refugee crisis is a purely political issue, one that's outside the Pope's specifically spiritual mandate. What this criticism fails to address is what prompts an almost 85-year-old man to travel over 1,000 miles just to look into the eyes, as he put it, of people who much of the world would prefer not to see. And all this when he has no election to win, no political power base to appease, and certainly with no economic gains to make. Which is why what he says and how he says it is so hard-hitting and utterly uncompromising.
Leggemmo le storie dei lager del secolo scorso, quelle dei nazisti, quelle di Stalin, e ci lamentiamo quando vediamo ma come mai è successo questo. Fratelli e sorelle, sta succedendo oggi nelle coste vicine, ponti di schiavitù.
It's not that the Pope doesn't care what people think. On the contrary, it's precisely because he wants us to think that he goes to places like Lesbos, taking journalists and the media with him so that we see what he sees. In this way, he hopes this crisis can be an opportunity to encourage awareness and even generosity in a world that's often too distracted and prefers to look away. So why doesn't the Pope just offer some political solutions to the refugee crisis? Because that's not what a Pope does. Notice how he never mentions a nation or a world leader by name. Rather, he reinforces principles and challenges consciences. He reminds us that to be Christian means recognizing our neighbor in those women, children, and men who've had to flee their homes because of hunger or persecution, and welcoming them. Returning to Rome from Greece aboard the papal plane, he put it like this.
Se io avrei un governante davanti, ma pensa al tempo che tu fosti migranti e non ti lasciavano entrare, che tu volevi scappare dalla tua terra e adesso sei tu a costruire dei muri. Questo fa bene perché chi costruisce dei muri perde il senso della storia, della propria storia.
History is full of examples of wall building, from fortresses to frontiers. That's why walls are such powerful symbols of expulsion and rejection, but especially fear. The danger, as Pope Francis again reminded us by going to Lesbos, is that by locking other people out, we run the risk of locking ourselves in.